and I am starting Bound by Flame. I am scrapping Darksiders 2 for now until I can get a little better at it. Anyway, let's sit back and enjoy. I'll do this on Hawk. Now, keep in mind, the closest thing that I can say that this game is closest to is a medieval Mass Effect. Not Dragon Age. A medieval Mass Effect.
For the past 10 years, though of course, they had been present long before then. The Deadwalker army, an endless horde of undead creatures under the Ice Lord's command, swept down from the mountains in the north, annihilating all resistance on the continent. Each battle only served to swell their ranks with the defeated dead, and the bloodless world seemed ready to sink into an endless ice age, where there would be no place for the living. There were a few who still tried to stand against the invaders. The elves, who had hitherto remained neutral, and the Red Scribes, a small group of scholars who believed their knowledge might be able to tip the scales. The Scribes had recently engaged the services of a group of mercenaries known as the Freeborn Blades, a renowned company who would become even more a ritual which was intended to change the course of the war.
Alright, I have no idea how to say that word right there. Espelande. I don't know, I don't care. Either way, that's the beginning. This is not a very long game, but it is a pretty fun game. Now, I'm going to be turning the music off later, or here in a second, because I don't feel like getting a copyright strike against me.
50 yards away. So here we are. And just think, the captain wanted me to stay and set up camp. I didn't join the Freeborn Blades to stack pots and go to trains. But he knows that. He knows his men, and he knows his powder master hates just hanging around. Setting up camp. Now that's what I call being useful.
I hate this part right here because it's combat. It's showing you what it can be like, but it won't let you actually fight.
The Ice Lords have really done it this time. All of Vertiel is on the brink. Nothing will stop the Deadwalkers. Soon there won't be a town left to fall back to, or even a tavern where you can spend your pay. There's no one left to turn back this.
There's only two trees I actually work with on here. That's the warrior and the flame tree. You'll see why at the end of this.
Let's hope our beloved employers can deliver on their promises. If their big ritual thing doesn't pan out, we're all gonna be left standing here with our asses hanging out. A bunch of chatty priests playing Sorcerer's Apprentice against 7 immortal mages. Sounds great. Anyhow, you have to fight fire with fire, so they say. Damn, they're here already. I better warn the others fast.
Okay. As I said, I'm going to be turning off the music. Don't know why the hell it was turned on. Anyway, one second, I gotta close my door because the dog just started barking. Don't think you guys want to hear that hound. There we are. Good. One thing that I can say is, if you're using this as a tutorial video, grab every scrap of anything that you can get your hands on. And I mean every scrap. It'll all be useful later.
Hey! Enjoy your stroll? Get over here and tell me about it.
Alright, I'm gonna avoid him real quick.
3 months without a chance to spend my pay. I'm sick of this goddamn war.
I don't know why they put a monetary system in this game. It's not really that effective. I mean, the gold is useful toward the end when you're needing to make ingredients, but other than that, not so much.
By the looks of you, I'm guessing it wasn't just a quiet stroll. So, what did you see?
The Deadwalkers are already close. I got one of their scouts.
Gods damn it, Vulcan! I've told you 100 times. Recon means observing and reporting, not charging in and fighting without thinking.
I didn't want him to alert all of the others before we were ready for them.
But what if they'd have killed you? Then you wouldn't have been able to alert us before they were ready to attack us. Think for a second. God's blood. We have to get ready for them. Now that you've finally got your arse back over here, you can prepare some traps. Get Peeler to help you place them around the temple. That'll give us some time, and we'll hear them coming.
Yes, sir, Captain.
And if you have questions, you know where to find me.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dick.
Dead glass. Now that sounds badass. How come none of those Ice Lord?
Alright, gotta grab some explosives. Oh, explosive trap, 10. There.
That should do. Hey, Peeler, lend me a hand, will you? We've got to prepare the area before it gets overwhelmed with walking corpses. These are a few treats to welcome our buddies, the Deadwalkers. Booby-trap all the access points, and try not to blow yourself up.
Don't sweat it, I can handle it.
I'm not kidding. If you lose an arm, it's gonna be my ass that gets blamed.
Alright. Now that's over with. The wrong button again. Alright.
The hobblers are coming! Now!
Drive them back! We must hold the Esplanade!
Oh, Esplanade. Okay.
Oh, shite! Here come more of them!
Good. The more the merrier. Here comes the archers. This is basically the closest thing to a tutorial that you get. What you want to do is take out the archers first. They do a hell of a lot more damage in the long run. Then take out these guys. Oh, that was the first time I've ever used a bomb to actually take out two of those guys at once.
Fall back! Everybody to the temple! No!
Big opponent means fun kill. Don't ask me how these are able to be fought.
Oh crap! Now we can walk through the wall.
These are basically ghosts, so how the hell are they able to be fought?
You go see how Buffalo is getting along with the scribes. He's meant to be guarding their invoking chamber.
Huh? But Captain...
Get out of here! And go find Pila for me while you're gone. I'll give you butt, Captain. Right. Are you coming or what?
Alright. Let's see if I have any weapons from being... Alright. Every once in a while you'll pick up a new piece of weapon or armor. Depending on the path you choose, you won't be able to wear any helmets. Because that's depending. Find metal.
Is everything okay, Buffalo?
As long as I can hear them mumbling, everything is okay. One of those dead things managed to get as far as here, but I killed it before it could interrupt them.
That's good news. Captain's holding the front entry, Hawk's on the west wing, I got the east. Got any idea where Peeler is?
I think I saw him over on the east side. You should find him if you head over there.
Thanks. I hope he's still in one piece. And, you might want to check inside the invoking room. We just came across some specters. Those things can go straight through walls, and they might get in there without asking you first.
Is that so?
Alright, time to open up this. Gave me a health potion. Damn. That's that for him. I hate facing those guys with the big hammers. Yeah, those guys right there, the warning stars. I hate facing them because they're the only ones that can actually sit there, stick out their left arm, and actually do a whole lot of damage to you. Everyone else, they've got to actually bring their weapons around for it. As you notice, unlike most games, when you level up, it does not refill your health. We're going to be sticking with the warrior path. For now, we're going to be putting it into parrying. I mean, what good is a weapon? It doesn't matter damage if you can't block or parry with it. You'll notice these little circles right next to the damage up there, the bonus. You can craft different items to fit on there. I'm going to go with damage for now. Need raw metal.
I need some help here. There's too many of them, and I got this stupid scribe under my feet.
You, scribe. Get back to the chamber with the others. Can't protect you if they keep wandering around.
Hey, thanks. Without you, I'm pretty sure that jerk would have gotten me killed.
No shit. Next time be more careful, okay? I talked with the captain. He wants to see you.
Oh, shit.
Already level 3. Start going into health. Practical, gonna need that. Mule makes it to where I can carry more things, and practical makes it to where I earn more experience per kill. Keep that in mind if you're actually going to be playing this game in the future, because it does come in handy. Which reminds me. usually want to keep your distance from these guys because they're usually full of some sort of magical element. Blood. Alright, leveled up again, so that means I can put more into my health again. Right. You'll notice every time it only gives you 2 experience points. Next thing I'm going to be putting on is right here, Heavy Weapons Master. So I can do a hell of a lot more damage. Got my parrying down. Now I just need to be able to do more damage.
This position is lost. Retreat! Everyone fall back to the invoking room, and fast!
Okay, there's a lot of undead right here. Gotta wait for them to get close. These are just skeletons. Walking skeletons. As you can see, not too difficult. Now, right here should be another big fat guy. Should be, doesn't mean it will be. There. Come on. As you can tell, the game is pretty linear.
Concentrate. We almost have it.
Well now, that must be the 5th time I heard him say that. This stupid ritual is taking too goddamn long. Oh, shit. Here come the hodlers.
Are you going to be all right?
I'm fine. Worry about those dead walkers.
Are you hurt, Buffalo? For now, you just have to get scraps. Got it, Sergeant. I'll keep the hobblers busy.
Oh, bastard knocked me off balance.
Something is wrong. The catalyzer shouldn't do that.
Alright. Sorry for this, guys. It's about to go blank because I gotta swap out my controllers.
Stay away from my daughter!
I shall not let thy weakness be our downfall.
Now, as you can see, that said demon has just started speaking. The demon speaks in Old English. Alright. Let's focus on the back legs first. Just gotta pick up that archer. There actually is a way for you to use the juggernaut here to take out all the enemies. Like this guy here, I didn't lay a hand on him until now. Saw those heavy attacks did little to no effect, but light the damn thing on fire. There we go. Just gotta use some mana potion. Sorry about the weird audio. It's usually a little better with the music, but because of the copyright, yeah.
I'm burning.
How did I do that? Captain, I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
The swamp? Oh, that sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously. I fried that thing. I saved our asses, and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
Thou hast fled.
What the?
Thou didst hold the power to face the necromancers, yet thou didst flee.
I had no choice.
No choice. Hast thou even thought of choosing? Thou art fled like a thief, and thou hast left me, a shadow of myself, trapped here in this prison.
I did not create this situation. I'm not even sure I understand what has happened.
The hour for questions is past. Thou must act. It is I who will suffer for thy cowardice. I who will pay for thine fault. I who will face extinction. And if I must die, if the flame is extinguished, our world will die as well.
I will not let the flame die. I am in a war against these necromancers, and at last I have the power to fight them.
What dost thou hope to accomplish in this ridiculous human shell? As it is now, it is useless to us. The flame is not a toy for mewling infants. It exists to reign. Its power must not be stolen from thee. We must reconquer the world heart as swiftly as we may.
Hey, Vulcan, enough of your daydreaming. Move your ass, huh?
Buffalo.
As I said, it speaks in Old English. Most everyone who watches this should be able to understand. Doesn't mean you will, but you should be able to. Took me a while to actually figure out what he was saying.
Vulcan, you hear me? Pull your finger out.
Huh? Yeah, I hear you. My head feels like a bomb went off in it.
Well, shake it off. We're still not at the end of this stinking swamp, and I'm not gonna carry you all the way to the village.
Anyway, how come Hawk is the one with me here? He's the lead scout. I always go with him.
Hawk is covering the back of the line, so this time, I'm the one who goes with you. You'll get over it.
Why do I get the feeling I'm under surveillance?
You think nobody noticed your little stunt at the temple? Damn right we're watching you. Now shut your trap and keep an eye on our perimeter, while I keep an eye on you.
And while the captain has a nice chat about me with the red scribes.
It'll be a lot easier to talk to those two-faced snakes without you hanging around. Don't worry about it. He'll tell you what you need to know. And if he doesn't tell you, then I will.
Thanks, Sarge.
Let's get moving before everybody catches up.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
Not yet. But with an arrow sticking out of your throat, I'm certain that even a chatterbox like you could do a passable impression.
And you'd be the next one down.
Possibly. Perhaps I should aim for the largest target first.
Not if you want to keep both your balls.
What have we here? Buffalo in person. Well, that's a good sign.
What's going on here? Who's the scrag with the pointy ears?
Thanks for noticing. I try to keep them sharp. I am called Relmar. And I gather the red-faced fat belly with the filthy beard is none other than the famous Elric, leader of the Freeborn Blades.
They call me the Captain.
All the Freeborn Blades call you Captain Elric. I have no doubt that they do. As for me, I've never had much interest in titles or in military protocol. I judge people by their deeds.
And what are you doing down in the swamps, besides threatening honest mercenaries?
Looking for you. Well, I began by searching for the Red Scribes. Prince Arundel is wounded. We had to withdraw to Valvanor, where I learned that you were expected. I just wanted to make sure you found your way there.
This is not my first walk in the wilds, arsewipe. As you can see, I'm on the right path, and we've nearly reached our destination.
Captain, those creatures I told you about this morning are gathering nearby. They're probably getting ready to attack us.
Ah, well those are called chrysalids. They wait until they have gathered enough numbers, and then they overwhelm you. And it would seem your little group is attracting a whole swarm to the village.
Well, we'll give them a welcome.
Actually, in spite of themselves, these creatures do an excellent job of keeping Deadwalker scouts away without raising any suspicions. If we allow them to gather here and then massacre them, I fear we'll be moving their territory a bit too close to Valvanor, which will lead to our being discovered sooner or later. I suggest we send 1 or 2 men back. This will keep them separated and occupied, while the rest make it to the village. I'm ready to volunteer, if you fear I might try and slip away. I know the area well.
Sounds like a plan to me. Vulcan, you're on it.
I want to go too. The animals and plants in this swamp are extraordinary. And the venom of these chrysalids seems very interesting. I'd love to get a chance to observe them more closely.
Sybil, that is out of the question. Have you lost your mind? It's too dangerous.
Come on, let her off the leash. It'll be good for her. I promise I'll bring her back in one piece.
Vulcan, rule number 2.
We'll see you at the village.
Sybil!
See you later.
Yeah, I like Sybil because she's a healer. Ralvanar's a good support guy, but he doesn't heal.
They're all around us. I have to make a note on it.
Only thing I hate about the combat on here is the damn camera. And that's that. Swashbuckler. Alright. You can go to stability now.
This swamp is teeming with life. I can't wait to discover all this species. There is so much to learn.
One thing I hate about some of the tutorials on here is that it just throws it up right in your face, no matter what the situation is. You could be fighting a juggernaut and bam, there, it's in your face. Stops everything.
Hawk told me a lot about you.
Really? He's not normally much of a talker. Did you torture him or something?
No, I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I just think he has a lot of respect for
you. Alright, that's that. Okay, we can go back. Don't feel as though I'm ready to take on that horde yet.
I thought that nature had taken over again here in the swamp, but I sense there is something else.
Raw metal and a gemstone. Don't ask me why, but gemstones are only useful in creating either hilts. Oh, shut up! It all leads the same way. Hilts or selling them. Okay. These things right here are a pain in the ass. Damn it. Should have used a health potion, but I'm trying to save him toward the end. I'm going to get out of this area right here. Something that's open on all sides. Good, she's still holding her own. Barely.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
And get all her conversations out of the way for now.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
So Alas is your father?
Yes. And yes, he is the leader of the Red Scribes.
That's handy for you.
You are so predictable. Daddy's little girl can do whatever she wants, right? Don't fool yourself. I'm endlessly having to prove myself more than any other scribe. My father doesn't treat me better than the others, and I expect no less from him.
At least that explains why you look like you just stepped out of a library. I guess he encourages you?
Yes, of course. But I'm big enough to make my own choices. Knowledge fascinates me, and I suppose it would have been like that whoever my father was.
Can you tell me more about your order?
Of course. The Red Scribes are an order of sages. Our quest is to find the answers to all the great mysteries of this world.
And so you know about magic?
We study magic from an essentially theoretical viewpoint, but we're not an order of magicians. Even though some of us practice healing magic, but we have nothing to do with the destructive power magic used by the Lords of the Frozen Shadows, and we know very little about that domain, unfortunately.
I see. But that doesn't mean you can't research it, huh?
Obviously, especially now. Any knowledge which would help us turn this war around would be helpful. But according to our archives, we were already studying magic more than 5 centuries ago.
Oh, really? What do you know about the Ice Lords?
As much as it is possible to know without having met them. In some ways, they're quite fascinating, even though the term might seem inappropriate.
Perfect. How do we kill him?
If I knew that, do you think I would keep it to myself? But I can tell you this, we do believe it's possible. We know that there are 7 lords. Black Storm, Lady Crystal, Marshal Winters, the White Lady, Lord Blackfrost, the Chiller, and the Ice Duchess.
Everybody knows that. We've had our asses kicked by them enough.
For sure. But in the past, there were more of them. Some scrolls talk of 9 or a dozen, even of 30 lords. Of course it's confusing. And I doubt they would have freely given the information of how to kill one of them. But you can bet that some of them have died. We just have to discover how.
Chop the head off.
Where did they come from?
Most people believe that the lords appeared recently, at the beginning of the war. But I have found certain scrolls that lead me to believe they have been around more than 300 years. They are originally from a region far to the north of Vertiel. For a long time, they remained there. The beginning of their conquest is quite recent. We all think that the war started 10 years ago, but in fact, it is much longer, maybe even the last century. It took them a long time to escape from their region of origin. The dwarf kingdoms were in their way, and they put up a fight.
You had me going there for a moment. I'm sorry, but dwarves? Save it for the children.
But you're wrong. The dwarves did exist, but the Ice Lords exterminated them.
Right. And I bet they also massacred all those poor dragons and goblins.
You know that dragons and goblins don't exist. You're impossible.
Do they have any weaknesses that we could exploit?
Not that I know of. All of the Ice Lords are powerful sorcerers. They are far more powerful than all the other magicians. They have an unlimited army. If they have a weakness, it's not that.
But in spite of all of this, you think there is something?
I do. We often imagine the Ice Lords as a vast megalithic power. But that's not true. In fact, they desperately hunger for power. Just because they pooled their powers to create the Deadwalker army doesn't mean they like each other. Their balance of power is precarious. As soon as they are done with destroying Vertiel, they'll probably start killing each other.
Sure, but that doesn't help us much if we have to wait until they're done.
Perhaps there is a way to stir up the tensions between them. Even if for the moment, I can't think how.
Let's change the subject. Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
But what was the god's damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old text, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Well, that's just great. What do I do now?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are, or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
I have discovered a few things about the small chrysalids. They are much faster, but it seems that they can only attack from close up, using their pinchers. I also noticed that the medium-sized chrysalids were slower than small ones, but they, however, can fire tiny projectiles.
What can you tell me about the World Heart?
Many of the people on Vertiel believe that the World Heart is just a myth. There are many different beliefs from one region to another, but most of them have more in common than not.
The World Heart is where life and prosperity are born. I've already heard that crap.
If we were to imagine Vertiel as a living being, the World Heart is exactly what it sounds like, the heart of the world. It's what keeps the world alive. It beats, and Vertiel lives from its energy. If you wish, I can try to learn more about it. Come back and see me in a few days.
Alright, time to get going again.
I still haven't thanked you for everything you did at the temple.
Well, same here, I think. Now, what did you people do to me anyway? Where does this power come from?
Your captain asked my father the same question. I have no idea what happened, I swear it. But we're going to do everything we can to find out. It's amazing we have no record of
Looks like I got a new level and I didn't even realize it. Physical resistances. That'll help out quite a bit. Alright, I gotta save up a few now. Thanks. Go with me and axe. I feel better now. I prefer axes over swords anyway. Sure, they're not as fast, but they do help a lot more. They interrupt more. They cleave more.
Hey, this guy's fucking fearless. Let's help him out before it goes bad for him.
Despite his determination, Knight was in an awkward position. He thanks the mercenary for having assisted him in his task. If he can trust the rumors that he hears around the village, he has before him one called Vulcan. He has the pleasure of welcoming the mercenary to the village.
And you are?
The knight is called Ranval, last survivor of the Order of the Ember Knights, and now protector of Valvenor, this village. The new arrival is most welcome, but the steward is waiting in the old village inn.
Alright, got that. I'll eventually end up using swords again because they have the best stats on the game. But I'm gonna stick with my axe for now. Nothing else quite says fuck you better than an axe in the face. Would you attack already, damn it? And that right there is why I like Sybil. My health is already back at full now. I wonder, can I make any bombs? Nope. And there we are. Alright. Just need one more experience point for that. I really hate those things. there. That was the horde I didn't think I was quite ready to take on earlier. And now it's dead. Nope, wrong way.
This is Valvenor. It is not a beautiful place, but for the time being, it seems to be unknown to the Deadwalker army. This village has known better days. Before the war, it was popular among the rich hunters who came to enjoy the ample game in the swamps. Today, the only visitors are refugees, who are sadly too numerous for the scant resources of the village. A small healing house provides comfort and succor to the injured. The knight is quite fond of Mirana, the healer who runs the place. Does the mercenary see the building opposite? It was once an inn, but it is now the residence of the steward, the man
that
now
big
in
building
charge
right
of the
there.
village.
This is a very large inn, considering the size of the village. There must have been many visitors before the war.
With any luck, we might get to sleep in a real bed tonight. How come you talk that way? Always in the third person.
The way people speak is different from one place to another, and I am from another place. The Knight's people are a warrior tribe from Algendar, and he is proud of them.
I'm going.
Alright, I'm going to save it here, guys, and then I'm going to turn off the broadcast. Thank you for watching. This is Gamer 1995 signing off, and I hope you guys have a good one.